Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. We are live and back at it again, folks. It's Tuesday. We got NXT. We got NXT We got NXT Add all the letters, add all the acronyms. But we got some action for you tonight. The go-home show for Worlds Collide. Lots going on, including a TNA championship on the line here tonight. It's going to be a fun one, folks. So strap in, strap on, grab your snacks, grab your feel-good, and let's go. Ding, ding, ding. We are live and back at it again, folks. Like I said, we are the Wrestling for Life Network. This is another live stream as we bring you NXT tonight. I see that chat filling up already. Remember, we want triple digits in that chat each and every night. So make sure you get in that chat. Click the buttons, like, share, subscribe, be a friend, tell a friend. Take our link, share it with everybody you know. Share it with the wrestling world. Give the gift to the Wrestling for Life Network. But a fun show ahead tonight as we get ready for NXT, AAA, WWE, Worlds Collide. So much going on. Matches have been announced. We're going to talk all about it. We will be your live reaction to all the action here tonight. And if you don't know who we are, when I say we, well, I am, as every night, KJ White, the Iron Man of YouTube. That is Big Nick.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Wrestling for Life Network proudly brings to you its YouTube tag stream champions of the world, the Every Night Delight, KJ White. I'm Big Nick. We want truth. And yes, we got everybody's favorite non-alcoholic beverage on tap, Trick and A.
Trick and A.
We got Trick out here defending the TNA title against Mike Santana.
Yeah, Mike Santana, Trick's going to be very interesting tonight. I know we're going to dive back into truth if you haven't heard enough about it already. A lot of people still talking about the truth situation. The stories come out from multiple sources that he was made an offer by WWE. He felt like it was a lowball offer and did not want to re-sign for the value they were offering him, and they decided to part ways. So again, for all that fake rage out there, for all the people that really want truth, well, truth wouldn't take a pay cut, and when you're 53, you got to take a pay cut. So that's how that goes.
I still want truth, damn it. I thought you were going to mention about the we want trick, or we want truth, Christ, we want trick, we want truth chants that were throughout Monday Night Raw that allegedly were kind of muffled out, canceled out of the broadcast, what have you. And then CM Punk acknowledges it at the end, and some people didn't exactly receive his comment that well.
I don't know why his comment wouldn't have been received well. It was a bit of tongue-in-cheek and a bit of poke. I don't know
people
how that...
didn't get sarcasm, long story short. People didn't get sarcasm.
Yeah, I guess so. But ultimately, I think that, I mean, we watched the show live. It came up the one time. There was a couple of fan videos going around where like that section seemed to be, chanting some stuff, but I don't know if the whole building was. Again, I don't think anybody's arguing about how much we love the guy and how great he is and all that stuff. But listen, you're 53. We have to renew your contract. This is what we're prepared to offer you, as we got a lot of other things happening. Do you want to stay? No, I don't like that offer. Well, it's been a pleasure, and we'll make sure you get a nice match on the way out, which he did.
Well, depends on when they had the contract negotiations and everything. And does like the Matt Cardonas of the world and everything that Truth has going on outside of this, he knows or perceives, what have you, however you want to look at it, his value a bit higher. And as this TKO coming down, and it's still, I know the 53-year-old argument and everything, but it's goddamn Ron Killings. It's our truth. So that's a valuable asset to have regardless. And especially when you're talking about fucking over and over of breaking this record and that record and this gate and that gate and financial goals after financial goal.
So
you ain't got no, you pinch a penny. Your market
value is your market value. If he can get bigger money from Tony Khan, then go get it from Tony Khan. But at the end of the day, again, I'm not, because I make more money, I should pay my housekeeper more money. I don't think that's how this works. And no offense. And I mean, I called Sappy out on it today because same thing of like, oh, this is going to detrimentally affect, but it's not. He's a great guy. He's everyone's buddy. He's everyone's uncle. He'll be fine. There's a lot of other leaders. There's a lot of other people back there that are making it run. WWE will be fine. It will keep chugging along. Bigger names than Raw and Killings have left the company. But I digress, Nick. But I don't think there's much more. I mean, at the end of the day, he was offered to stay. He didn't like the offer, and here we are. So I think the company did their due diligence with somebody who's 53 years old.
I will say it, just this will be the last thing I will speak on this. No, I'm not even going to say of that. At least from his position, it makes the most sense of him to put it out of I got released of it 100%. He is the baby face in this situation. You have now made the company look like the authority that it was on screen for the longest time and everything. So I will say that of if it was the story of we can't reach a mutual agreement and he walked away from taking a pay cut, he's not going to put that out there. He's going to say they released me, everything like that. And then he's instantly the most over babyface, and now we get the backlash. So now he's got some leverage.
For sure. And again, I think there's value. He'll still do things. He'll be popular. He'll be in high demand. He'll take bookings. He'll make his money. He'll be all right. He'll be all right. But with all that being said, tonight shall be all right, folks. Don't forget, we are here on Saturday at 2 p.m. It's a marathon stream. You know how we like to do marathons. You know how we do Saturdays. It's going to be crazy here. We start at 2 p.m. with Worlds Collide. And again, we follow that with Money in the Bank. It's going to be a crazy day here on the channel. Of course, don't forget, tomorrow we got Dynamite, 4-hour Dynamite Fighter Fest extravaganza. We are going to hit it all. So, yeah, it's going to be a long one here tomorrow. Hold on tight. When we say strap in and strap on, we mean it. But, yeah, world title tonight. There's Miles Bourne taking on Dempsey. So the falling out of the No Quarter Catch crew. Tyra Mae Steel is going to make her debut. I believe Briggs and Yoshi are going to take on, who did I say they were going to take on? They were going to take on Nico and Jensen, and we also have Chase U taking on Darkseid. Your faction against my faction.
Why do I have to correct you on Darkseid, the faction that I don't like? I don't like either of these factions, but yes.
Right. Nick, maybe we got 5 minutes, 4 minutes almost. Shall we say hi to the people, sir?
Dance with the devil. Yeah.
Have at her.
Oh, fair enough. Zach, what up? Kevin, what up? Eric, hey, Wrestling for Life buddies. Can't wait for Tyra Mae's debut. Callie Armstrong will be in the house as well. New Evolve Women's Champion.
Yeah.
And of course, Trick versus Santana for the TNA title. I won't hold us down, but that's going to be match of the week almost.
It could be, man. There's all the implications to it. And TNA has a pay-per-view on this Friday. I don't know why they do, but they do. So against all odds will happen on Friday. The winner will face Elijah. So we'll see.
Right. Well, does Elijah get involved tonight? But Sean Reed, what is up? Hashtag WFU for Life fam. Excited to see Jane finally get her spot, but surprised it wasn't Gigi first. Same. I notoriously said, and this is where Marty just kicked Sean.
Yeah, Jane had a better run. I'll keep it short and sweet because of the time frame. But we're going to talk more about Jane because I think a lot of people acted like she was just some nobody floater when she won the title. It was very funny to see the reaction. But she put in the work.
You're gonna think you're watching an episode of AEW Dynamite with OC with how much we're gonna talk about Jane. Cherokee, what up? Evening all. Williams, Santana, Bourne, Dempsey. We all want Bourne, right. Roman, what up? Eric, got you. Roman, Clay, Ken, Michael. How's it going, everybody? Yeet God, what up? Brandon. Yes, I am indeed ready. Wrestling for Life, gang.
Good answer.
Boss, and what's it? Family Feud? Naked Grandma. Good answer.
Orange.
Right.
My favorite.
Rocco, what up? Brandon, what up? We got Spaz with a $10 super chat. Here, I'm clicking so you can read it now.
There you go. Thicky, Tricky, Nikki. With the sticky and kayfabe J Fabulous. That's like my drag name. If our fearless leader Papa H gave you the book, where do you put Mariah, Deanna, Rosa, and Abaddon? Well, that's like half a division between Raw, SmackDown. Deanna is ready for main roster. She might end up back in TNA before anything else. Abaddon's NXT. She can hang out with Wendy Chu. Mariah, a hard push on Mariah May.
I think everyone almost kind of halfway goes to NXT except for Abaddon. You mentioned it of you put her in Evolve and she's a tag team with Spooky Dookie Wendy Chu.
That's crazy. Let's go.
Right, but we got 2 minutes. I got a rapid fire. Vance, what up? The IWC is still crying about this. Bunch of crybaby. You don't call me a crybaby. Do I need to be David Greco with the pink and robe and everything right now out here?
Every day now, if you learn to have a sense of humor about all of it, and really, if you read the IWC stuff with like a smile, it's so much easier to digest, because it is just like it's the gerbil on the wheel, and it just every day it's just piling on of just more crying and more whining, and everyone hates everything. Are we sure we are wrestling fans? Are we sure? Hate everything.
My guy, a car factory safety test facility does not have as many crash outs as Twitter does. I feel right now.
Right? It's crazy.
Well, you get to read this name because you do it best.
Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Welcome back, sir. Good to see ya. We got about 20 seconds.
Oh, God. Roman, what up? Lady B, we love Truth. I think we'll be fine. TK will pay him a boatload for the rival pops you will get, and then he can sit home and collect a check. I still want him in TNA of his backstage segments with him and Santana. Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah, and him, like, he could be in something actually serious with, like, a Kazarian or someone like that, where he really opposes, like, everyone hates Kazarian, everybody loves Truth. That's a storyline that works.
Right? There's so many fucking funny ones of R-Truth got released. He's not dead, people. Move on.
Yeah, they didn't shoot him, right? Like they let him.
It feels like they did. They shot me in the heart, and you're too late.
Emotionally, we've all been shot, KJ.
You give love a bad name. Can't wait for R-Truth to pop up in the Royal Rumble next year. Theater,
that's the other part of it. He will be back.
There's still people. I'm holding out hope of he's still on the roster page and still, yes, should be.
Oh no, you got that?
You're in now,
ladies, forever and gentlemen. Okay,
wait, I'm behind you forever.
All right, we might be together in a second.
Together.
All right, hiccup. Big W on the screen, folks. If you want to sync up with Nick and I, we are rolling. We are ready to go. It's going to be NXT tonight. Again, the TNA title is on the line. We're opening it with a flashback to Ricky Starks, Ethan Page, new North American champion, new women's world champion. Again, it's becoming a show that don't miss, because something could happen.
Absolutely. Well, that's the thing is, everything from NXT last week feels like a hard reset on a lot of stuff.
Right.
JC Jane, new champion, you still got her up there and everything. Stephanie's already moved up, official like a referee whistle, to the Monday Night Raw roster. Allegedly, supposedly, rumoredly, Ricky Saints is moving up to a roster. I've heard SmackDown. So now you've got the new crop that you're folding in, and now you've got to create this new divisions on both levels.
Yeah, and I truly think that I feel like people are missing, and maybe because we're too deep in it, but people are missing kind of this transition that's happening. John Cena's final year. Randy's close to his final year. Really part-time, comes and goes. Roman's almost on the way out the door. And then you see, like you said, Stephanie, Julia, Braun Breaker's becoming a star. Bronson's getting used prominently. You're seeing a transition. Even the Charlottes and Beckys and Baileys might be kind of not done, but pushed to the later, the end of the plank, if you will. And you see a lot of competition from the next generation of wrestling talent. So, yeah, I mean, it's not bad for business, but people are very sentimental.
But so I will say this, is we're getting a replay and a hype up for Santana versus Trick, which is an amazing matchup. I'm surprised we're getting on weekly free TV. It plays into the argument with Truth getting released, with Carlito not being re-signed, or with both of them not being re-signed, with allegedly Miz, you know, might be out the back door, of Valhalla out here, of there's very much, it's undeniable that there's a youth movement right now in WWE.
Yeah.
They are very much starting to invest now that they've sold it to TKO, what have you. They are investing highly in a new frontier, a new face of WWE.
It's interesting though, and I think, I mean, I don't know how many people are picking up on the idea that a lot of the wrestlers, as we go forward here, are going to become wrestlers that only know a Triple H system.
Yes.
We're going to end up with people that only know Shawn Michaels, only know Triple H at the helm. But
you're starting to see that now with guys coming back that were part of NXT before, and guys that were part of NXT initially under Hunter before episodes and 2.0s and all of that, of now that are still, they're Hunter guys per se.
Yeah.
Like Vince had guys, and there's the theory out there that now they're cutting and getting rid of all of Vince's guys to still have Hunter's guys here.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, even you saw it within the management, right? Road Dogg's got a job. Sean Waltman's kind of an advisor. Michaels is in creative now, doing his thing with NXT. Like DX is running the wrestling world, and anyone wonders why it might be a little wobbly at times. Well, there you go.
Right. But
as the new women's champion,
you know, I still want Fallon with that belt, though. Fallon is head, shoulders, knees, and toes above to me.
Well, and I kind of touched on it earlier, Nick, and I did feel like when she won it, everyone acted like she was a nobody. Like, I mean, she's been solid. And I like the fact that it did surprise people. We can't ask for surprises and then get mad at surprises.
Well, that they worked, even the boys, they worked the fucking guy doing the ring announcements and everything like that. So where his genuine face was fucking memed for a while around all that. As I've got Javon coming out, which will have Javon in the Fatal 4-Way at Worlds Collide on Saturday, starting at 2 p.m. See, I remember things.
There you go. Another $5 super chat. Laredo Kid's already in the ring from AAA. I mean, he kind of has done stints in a few places, but Bill.
Well, he was just in TNA. He was out there. They had me and Anthony were here for Thursday, and they had the Fatal 4-Way tag match, and his partner got beat up before the tag match, so he still went out there, saw his partner, and thought he was going to win.
Right. We got Ethan Page. People who bitch about 3 hours on Friday are about to praise 4 hours on Wednesday. Calling it now.
Yep.
Listen, I kind of said this briefly last night, and we'll probably talk a lot about it tomorrow. I think this was an opportunity, even if you ran a 3-hour Dynamite with like a 1-hour Collision kicker, but like a more solidified show, to do just like a Dynamite and then like a glued together Collision after. The drop off in views, I can't imagine what this is going to look like.
No, just drop Collision. Just drop Collision. Just drop it. Just, you know, when the pimp's in the clip, ma, drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot.
Right? As Ethan,
trust me, I got Tony might have sold me. He might have secretly admitted he's a Creed fan on Twitter, but we can talk about that in a minute. But yes,
wouldn't surprise me.
John C. Thank you. Thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. Any draft news? Not yet. I think we might be more closer to a draft in our fantasy football league than WWE might be to a draft.
The expert reporter said sometime in 2025. Thank
you. Sometime.
This way, when it happens, they can go, told you so.
Right. As we've got Paige, Javon, and Laredo Kid all out here talking smack. As I like this, though, from Lady B, and this is a valid ass fact of it's an exciting time to witness the changing of the guard. That's what sold a lot of people at WrestleMania 40. WrestleMania 40 really felt like the true first WrestleMania. We're literally watching the changing of the guard happen in real time.
Yeah, and I think with growth comes change. And I think with change as here comes Shawn Legacy.
Let's go. He's somehow become my guy because you keep calling him Jack and Cartwheel. And he's owed a North American title shot above anybody else here. Does he throw himself into this? Do we make the match at Worlds Collide a fatal 5-way North American title?
He's saying, I got next. Now, I don't know what the status of, speaking of Worlds Collide, I don't know if we saw this, but Wild got injured during Speed. So I hope he's okay. It looked pretty serious in the couple clips I saw. But yeah, I hope he's doing all right.
Fair enough. I have not seen this, and I don't know. I hadn't seen this either until right recently. I feel like Sean Legacy looks a little bit like if you took Sami Zayn, Neville, and Drake Maverick and combined them into one human being.
Right. He kind of looks like Mike Bennett as well.
A bit. Just, yeah.
The Vanity Project. Let's go. Dave, that's not a dig at somebody. I don't know what is.
That's a faction that's out there on Evolve. That's Swipe Right, and I can't remember the
Vanity Project.
Not James Franco. What's Franco's brother? Little Franco.
Dave? Is it Dave Franco?
Well, either way, he looks like he's a Franco.
Yeah, no, you got Jonathan Taylor Thomas, James Franco's little brother.
Yeah, fucking Tool Time. Where's Brad from Tool Time?
Yeah, right? Like
brother, the blonde-headed douchebag.
Yeah, Dave Franco. Shout out to Dave.
Fair enough.
From 21 and 22 Jump Street fame. But
from related to James Franco fame.
Oh,
three-way tope.
Who's missing? There's a missing human.
Octagon.
Oh, okay.
That's from the Fatal 4-Way, at least.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, who's missing? We got 3 corners of the 4-Way.
Octagon Jr.
Yeah, there you go. Up next, I don't have a graphic for this bullshit because nobody wanted to see it. But up next, we do get Chase U taking on
Dark State. Yes, we have 3 of Cutler James, Osiris Griffin, Dion Lennox, and Saquon Sugars. The girls that make them sugars.
Right.
Versus Chase U of Kale Dixon, not related to Mason, Andre Chase, and Uriah Connors.
Right. Yeah, Ray Phoenix is not there. Thank you.
By the way, high as hell. I feel like we've just...
Oh, yeah, I don't even know who Nick said hi
to.
Richard, Ronan, OG Dale, Boston, VHS, Jose's here. I'm not going to do everybody. John C., Timmy, Kevin, Gregory. Keep this chat going. Keep it busy, folks. Again, we try and click on as many as possible. We love doing it. Don't forget those super chats, super stickers. I see Jordan. I see Jobson. I see Theater of the Absurd. Always a pleasure. Ronan, Cherokee George. Lady B is always good for a chuckle. Spaz dropping the super chats. Jake, the original tribal chief. Sean Reed, and so many more. We appreciate you all. And if we didn't say your name and you want us to, get back in that chat. There you go. Anthony saying hello.
I see London. I see France. I see Rapunzel down with his underpants.
What's up, pal?
Pronouns, pal. But yes, Gregory, JV, I see you. Kareem, you said hi to Anthony. We've got Johnny. Dale, we need Vince. No, all right. It's perfect timing. And we're going to address this elephant in the goddamn room, which I don't even know why it was allowed in the courtroom, as we're in commercial break. This is the most asinine fucking take. Sorry, and Johnny, I love you, but this take is just ass 8, ass 9, ass 10.
It's dumb.
It makes no fucking... Just say you have nothing to contribute to the conversation, because everybody that wanted the Triple H era, we're here because of what Vince did and how he got WWE to that state. AEW exists because of what Vince McMahon was doing with WWE. Listen, like, this man's on horrible allegations and all that. Like, and we're going to revert back to this man's going to fix it?
No, he couldn't. And again, he was so out of touch and he was so hopeless. To me, anybody saying that the Vince McMahon era was better or we need Vince back, Vince was horrendous. Vince was one of the reasons, if not the biggest reason, why AEW was, kicking the shit out of WWE for the first few years. Again, this might not be perfect. All your favorites might not be getting booked the way you like them. There might feel like there's a little lack of sauce with the wrestling right now, Nick. And maybe part of that is this transition or post WrestleMania. We came out of WrestleMania without, wasn't the best of momentum. I don't know, but it's still 10 times better. We're still giving shows 7s and 8s, and I don't know, like people want like the perfect, fully stocked and loaded show every single show. And I mean, that's just not realistic. But any idea that Vince was going to bring anything positive to the table? Nah, he's a disgusting fuck. I'm glad he's gone. He's not going to help anything. And again, we're moving on. Anybody that looks towards that was atrocious. I sat through a lot of bad nights because of Vince McMahon.
Evolution is a mystery, and that's where I think we're kind of at with this. We still, again, everybody that's out here opining for Vince to come back and he's going to make wrestling great again. I question your voting on a lot of things, and that's not just because of where I live. But at the same time, this is the man. We're in this situation where everyone wanted Triple H, and I'll go and find receipts. I know they're out there. Wanted this, and then now the second it goes any bit of you don't like this, it goes questionable, it goes sideways.
Yeah,
that now we got to revert back to the old here.
Well, and again, you can pick and choose as well. Like, yeah, this Cena retirement run maybe not hitting the way it could. I can see that. That's fair. You know,
I would say Hunter on his best. Like, I would like. Yeah. Hunter on his worst day is better than Vince on his best day
Miles,
in the past decade.
Wrestling we were getting as the AAA mega champion in the building. Big pop for Vikingo. Touching belts with a stranger. Be careful, folks.
Right.
But yeah, no, anyone that has this idea that, you know, because it got more corporate, you got to remember TKO walked in. If this was AAA, like if Vince said, here, Trips, this is your company, things might look and feel different. But they have a boss. We all answer to somebody. TKO, and they did it with the UFC, and maybe to their detriment a little bit, Nick, as Chase U coming out. But you see the sponsors everywhere. You see the maximizing of dollars. It could hurt a fan base. But as of right now, I mean, putting that on the idea that Vince wouldn't be doing the same thing if he was there, he 100% would be.
Yeah, I think somebody mentioned it. I wish I could give them credit because I saw it earlier and everything. I assume clearly in sarcasm of, so Vince wouldn't be out here chasing every dollar if he was in charge and all of that. We didn't even talk about it because I felt it was such a ridiculous news story that, I mean, it holds as much weight as if we wanted to try and buy WWE, if Vince wanted to buy WWE back.
Then the report came out. No, Vince doesn't want to. Like, this is so
after all the reports of TKO doesn't want to sell to Vince McMahon. No shit, Sherlock. But that's the thing is, Vince would be doing exactly the same thing. Judging on what it is. Judging on, all right, cool. If they're turning you away, then that's fine. Then speak with your wallet, make your choices. There is plenty of other wrestling and everything like that. It does suck if you view it that way, and like 100%. I don't agree with every decision that they've made and all of that. We've been here, we battled that out and everything. But at the end of the day, you choose what you want to intake. They're not, getting Clockwork Orange forcing you to watch WWE.
Oh. This is already off. Jump start. I guess I will put a poll up on this one. A little slow on the trigger here, but Dark State taking on Chase U. And Chase U.
Who are the legal men? Who are the men in this match?
Well, we got to wait till they take their mask off so we know who they are.
Well, no, they've already all taken them off. They don't stay on long. We've already been on that. It's much like, Vince with things, Ric Flair with things, they don't stay on.
Right. I'd rather have Vince owning WWE than TKO. I'll stand on that. If Vince could let Trips, but that's the problem. Vince wouldn't let Trips. We know what he did. We know all the stories about being difficult, ripping up scripts, last minute changes, bringing in random people because he thought they would sell more tickets. This is a guy that held the board hostage so he could be involved in the negotiation to pick exactly who got this company. And the biggest thing that Vince cared about was what Vince was getting out of that fucking deal. And everyone forgets that Vince was in that deal until TKO had to go, oh, brother, this doesn't look good. See ya. That's it. I mean, let's not forget that. Vince was destroying WWE, and AEW every week was the better show by miles.
Yeah, 100%. And he came back to try and sell it off. He came back to try and sell this off. That's the whole reason he was coming back at all. And yeah, and the whole of Vince would do this lovely peace gesture and let me hand this off to my family, my real son, Shane. I will hand this off to my son-in-law, who he took over NXT the second that he sat there and had any sort of a medical condition or anything. And just completely just made it a Vince McMahon thing, a Vince McMahon and a John Laurinaitis thing. This feels like I will live on the gumdrop house on Lollipop Lane and everything. That's fantasy ideal.
I think it's going to come out one day that like Vince and Trips got in a screaming match over NXT and gave him the cardiac event.
Oh, God.
I think that's what happened, bro. The minute Trips went down, him and Johnny walked in there and fucked that place up. Made it colorful, fucked every storyline up, pissed it all away.
Ran off William Regal.
Right? Ran off William Regal. Who
now I can just, all I can picture is just Hunter out there like Chris Farley with the, dub bears of just like a little bit of sausage.
As we get the tag, not Aaron Solo.
Are we still a bit upset that this is Brogan Finley out here? This is little Finley. This is David Finley's brother. This is Fit Finley's second son, other son.
Yeah, not that upset in the sense of we'll see. This is just the beginning. Will he be this guy forever? I don't see it. The idea that Chase U went through all that bullshit of like Chase U is over and have a funeral just to start up again. Wait, why? How does that thing happen? We just start again?
They undid everything Ridge Holland worked for.
I know you and I have argued about Dark State, but Dark State has a slightly better, onboarding than the new Chase U.
Oh, if I had to pick a fucking winner in this, sadly, I'm taking Dark State with this because they actually have
shit.
Osiris is that's the thing is some of their they're better than the totality of their parts. The sum of their parts are better than the totality of it, I guess. Osiris is good as an independent guy,
but this finish is unreal.
It's just fucking Shield Light. It is Shield Light.
Yeah, the softball.
We lost you.
Right? Well, it's like Baby Shield. They're still working some shit out. But that softball power bomb is wicked.
No Sierra one is Hotel Indica, Texas. Yeah, it is shit.
Can't do it. Delta Alpha. Roger.
I need to be smoking a fucking Delta or something like that to enjoy this shit.
Right. Chase U loses. Andre's chastising them. I just don't get why this came back. And Dark State looked good.
Very next day.
What this means or where they go, I don't know. But at least they're having decent matches and decent appearances. As I got
very NXT. It is very NXT.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Speaking of very NXT, Ava Rain. As I think we're going to get Cartwheel, Laredo, and Javon.
I'm
against the
fight a candidate to fight you over Jack Cartwheel's name.
What did I say? Legacy.
You call him Cartwheel.
Dragon Lee, the Forgotten Lucha.
That's why he's wearing all black. They couldn't see him. It was too dark. He was hiding amongst the stage production cases and everything like that. They couldn't see him.
Dragon Lee needs a surprise heel turn where he just goes on a rampage, drop kicking everybody in a mask.
He teams up with El Grande and they're a tag team. And they just hate Lucha. They're anti-Lucha.
Right. Rips his mask off. Trick's got a new swag about him, dude. Like cleaning, like checking his reflection in the belt and shit.
But this is what he needed. This is the only way you salvage Trick Williams at this point. Beyond this, he was floating dead in the water.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, it was a huge step up for him, and I think he rose to the occasion.
Right. Spaz with the $10 super chat. Not a defensive, Vince. But you find it weird how closely fans and sheets are following him post WWE. No, It's the same way people follow fucking Hulk Hogan and everything like that.
Yeah.
It is. They are synonymous. They are one and the same in the business. That wasn't done reading.
Oh, there was more. But wait,
like damn, they got a camera up there to see where what he had for lunch. At what point is too much? This man put his whole life story, put everything out there on for the world to see. He doesn't shine away from this. He's fucking Barnum and Bailey. He's 100% out there just trying to be out there getting attention.
I almost thought Laurinaitis was Bailey, but well, once upon a time. I mean, again, we got to find out what's going to happen now that Johnny Ace is turning coat. My God,
for the second time. Remember, he was the victim. Then this is all lies. Then now I gotta get out of Dodge here.
What is this sex thing you speak of?
Right? Never mind. You keep talking. I'm gonna investigate the thing.
Oh, Nick's investigating, folks. But we got more coming your way right now. I'm on a commercial break. Dragon Lee is here. That Dragon Lee made it back to NXT. We would see, maybe we get an 8-man tag. That makes sense. They need another guy. It's very interesting, especially with the relationship with AAA now. The idea that, we're seeing Dragon Lee, Laredo Kid, Javon is going to be a high flyer for a while. A faster paced wrestling. We brought in MCMG. We're seeing teams like Street Profits flying. We got DIY getting a little more TV time and match time. It feels like we're heading towards a new WWE.
Fair enough. No, there's a thing going on, and I don't want to pull attention to it, but I will probably put this out there of you got just choke out or whatever. I don't. If enough people are saying that should be an issue, like we're trying to keep the peace here, my guy. So I don't know what you're doing, but yeah.
Okay. As we always say, folks. All opinions welcome, but you got to keep it respectful. You got to keep it clean. And if our wrenches are asking you to behave, the wrenches have every right to do so. So be nice, wrenches, and be respectful to all those out there. As we are about a minute and 40 seconds away from returning from commercial break. How did your research go?
Well, that's what I was researching. That I was trying to find and everything. I was just trying to see what the offense was. I was trying to play judge, jury, and executioner there. But yes, no, if wrenches and non-wrenches alike, if the whole community is out there with torches and pitchforks and everything, maybe just calm it down a little bit, my guy.
Yeah.
Love you, appreciate you, but keep it above the fucking waist here. But I didn't ask. I just timed out. There you go. Love you, Anthony.
That's why. Yeah, no, that's what they're there for. And Anthony, we do appreciate it because we want to keep this place, unlike the IWC, as toxic free as possible.
Well, and JD, I was going to click on you, and I'm clicking on you now. KJY haven't they reinstated the cruiserweight title? But I will say this real quick. I hate to ask a question and talk over, but we're at the end of a commercial. I'll try and say this fast. Tony's saying, welcome all the new WWE fans with arms wide open. He's out there putting it actively on, Twitter followers with 1,000 followers and all that and everything. With arms wide open. Welcome. This is what we talked about. You should welcome this. If they're getting jaded and they're going to move, welcome them. Don't gatekeep. Welcome.
And you know what I think Tony's done really well? And listen, everyone carefully, because here comes a compliment for Tony Khan.
Mm-hmm.
Tony has been very fucking quiet. All that we've heard from Tony in the last while is, go team. Justified. This is awesome chant. Had a great pay-per-view. Every once in a while he has a wonky quote in like a media scrum, but even that's been minimal. When was the last time there was a big public meltdown or finger pointing or aha at Tony Khan? Tony's gone. Someone told Tony to shut up and he listened.
Sorry. No, this all across the board. This fits too perfectly of everything going on. Let's all just look at this as a teachable moment for everybody involved right now. But absolutely, again, this is Tony of telling as we've got Terrell. I'm not going to fuck up her name, Ariana Grace. But
Tyra Mae Steel.
Yes, that's the name I didn't want to fuck up.
Steel.
Well, just still be with you and also with you. But that Tony's saying, don't gatekeep. This has been, he's telling the sickos to stand down.
Yeah.
Listen to your fearless, leader. He's telling the sickos to stand down.
Yes.
Welcome, the herd that's coming from the other territory.
It's like Grandma Khan sat him down and gave him the old, you catch more, you catch more bees with honey than vinegar. Like, embrace them. We'll kick out the ones we don't like after, but let's get them in the door. Let's get them in the door. We're having a big month. Let's get them in.
Let's get back to 1 million. So then by 2025 of June, we can be back to 600. And I kid.
Right.
Janisha, what up?
By the way, there's a rounds match coming up, Nick.
Yes, the no rounds. This is for Miles Bourne and Riley Osborne's. No, it is Miles Bourne. God damn it all.
They're coming out together.
This is awkward because he's fighting for his freedom, which, by the way, the image, I don't know what they call it when the this does no one any service. Miles Bourne looks like goddamn Conehead, and Dempsey looks like he's not allowed within 500 feet of a school.
Well, again, we know the comparisons between Randy Orton and Miles. Miles did well against Oba. I mean, we can't take that away from him.
But this is interesting because this is Miles trying to get out of the quarter catch crew. Is this the breakup? Is this the end of it? Of you really almost feel like Ren's the only one in Dempsey's corner, Tavion's still in Miles's corner, so they might fully break away with here. We just saw Miles or Tavion Heights versus Mike Santana last week, which was a fantastic match, which surprisingly everyone was over the moon about Mike Santana in NXT, and all of us who watch TNA and know Mike Santana just say no shit, Sherlock.
Yeah, and again, I think it's a good example, Nick, of where we tell people, like, there are fans out there that just live in a WWE bubble, and they don't, like, again, they see Santana and they go, oh, who's this guy? They are not living it the way some of us are. And that's not a knock. That's just fact.
Fair enough. Alan, what do you think about WWE superstars headed to AEW or TNA in 2025?
That's a loaded question.
That's a podcast question.
Yeah.
We're doing a watch party.
But there's 2 minutes and 10 seconds left in this round, folks. So similar to the Heritage Cup, but not exactly, or just a new name?
Well, no, it's a rounds match. It's under match. The fight, but it's under, I guess, Heritage Cup rules. But yeah, I think WWE's let go 30 superstars in 2025.
Yeah, it sounds about right. It's getting up there for sure.
Yeah,
and I can imagine that there would be more coming. Like, no offense, but I think there's going to be more expiring contracts that don't get worked out.
All right. Denisha, push Miles to the moon. I'm so glad he's being pushed.
Miles to the moon.
MDB, what up? Boston, I'm going to take this on you. Be nice, but Schmandy Schmartin.
Schmandy Schmartin.
Mr. Quick, this is a great question.
Depends what week. It depends. If WWE is leading in the ratings, nobody gives a shit. Some podcasters out there don't even really talk about the ratings of WWE ever. I mean, there's been some online talk about, they had a down week this week, so that's something to figure out. But it depends. It depends. It's goalpost moving with the ratings.
It has become much more because now it's become a bit more one-sided. I won't say that everyone's exactly killing the game. Like, there has been still we had a flux, we had a high, and we're still working through. There is the potential of too much wrestling, but that's a whole other conversation. But I think it's very much of depending on, and they're weapons of mass distraction. of can I shift the
Miles.
narrative? Ooh, Miles gets a win.
Miles gets a buzzer beater. There you go. Did a really good technical round.
Miles is good. Tavion's good. Rent's good. Like everyone in this faction is good. Just the faction's a little doo-doo.
The faction never really came together. They didn't really have a mission. They didn't really accomplish much. They're all getting good, but like individually good.
Yeah, that's really it.
Right.
Well, they always kind of initially felt like the knockoff, Christ, I've been so stuck with the Death Riders, I can't even think of them. Yes, Blackpool Combat Club.
Right. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, we're on to round 2, 1-0 for Miles Bourne right now, folks. Thank you for tuning in. KG Nick, do you think Liv and Dom will get a mixed tag match at WWE? No. I swear the Miz gets released. I'm an AEW guy again.
Wouldn't it be interesting if AEW signs the Miz after they put the whole joke out there of what was it? Didn't they compare MJF to AEW's version of the knockoff of the Miz?
Right. And yeah, but I mean, I don't think that ties in. Again, Miz is at a point in his career where he's pretty much a gatekeeper. I like Miz. There's a use for Miz. If you keep him, great. But I could understand where he might get an offer from Triple H. And people got to stop blaming TKO. I'm blaming Triple H for all of this. Or giving him the responsibility because it's his responsibility.
It has to come across his desk at some point.
There's no way somebody from TKO just walks in. Like they've talked extensively about Dana White does Dana White. So Nick Khan and Triple H do Nick Khan and Triple H. That's how this business runs. TKO isn't like they might want to be in there about the sponsorship or the corporate deals or locations or bids for sure. But as far as what fighters Dana's booking, they don't have a fucking clue. Same thing with these wrestlers. So there's no way that like Triple H wakes up, gets to work on a Monday, and somebody from TKO says, "Oh, here's the list of the names that we fired." No, to me, that assessment is from people that have never been in a big business or never worked in.
Dwayne has no involvement. Just questions.
What's that?
Dwayne has no involvement.
I highly doubt it. He's on the TKO board, so no, he would not have any direct involvement.
He never pulls weight, pulls rank, anything.
I
think it's when it comes to certain things, like you were saying, of like them moving from New Orleans to wherever. We still don't know at this point. That's a TKO decision.
That's a board decision.
When it comes to contract negotiations, talent relations type of things, because I know he's chief content creator or whatever his title is. Is he also head of talent relations? So that he would also, I don't know if he is.
Yeah, I think, I know because I think Road Dogg might have something akin to that title. But you got to remember, Nick Khan is the top of that pyramid, right? So Nick Khan kind of gets the final say, but I'm sure he's working in conjunction with his manager, right? He's not just walking in and being like, "Hey, Trips, you got to get rid of all these people." And as far as like the TKO board themselves, I mean, some of these guys are like doctors who are just on the board because they got money. They're not paying attention. They like, "Hey, you really should push fucking Liv Morgan." Like, that's not happening.
I mean, if you've been an assistant manager in any position or anything like that, or even maybe a manager, you still probably get privy to anything that your higher up might be dealing with or might be coming down the fucking pike, even a little bit beforehand. Yeah. I think, especially though, when it comes to talent, that has to go across Hunter's desk.
100%. Like, think about it. If you work for a boss right now, their corporate head office has no idea who even works in that fucking building. Your boss in that building is the person that runs the shit. Every once in a while, someone from corporate comes down and shakes some hands and gives everybody a fucking cupcake. But outside of that, it's the manager of that store that is in charge of everything that happens under that roof. And it's been very transparent. Like, Dana White has carte blanche. Dana White does whatever Dana White wants to do with that company. And I think that's what they're doing with the WWE as well. It's so much red tape and so thick. There's no way that there's some big board vote on personnel. None. Zero.
And we've right now got 241, 240 as we've got a bridging back suplex as Dempsey ties it up 1-1 in round 3. But is this growing pains of like when anyone that's a longer UFC fan of when UFC switched over to when they had all of their fighters coming out when Reebok stuff and we started to move a bit more towards that. We're a privately or a publicly owned company and everything versus the Fertitta brothers owning it. Is this a bit where we're at with WWE? Of this is just the TKO business model.
Yeah.
This is what we do with businesses, and then you can we get through here, and then you can do your thing.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it when people got upset about like the releasing of the office staff. You know, if you had a redundant job, you were in trouble because they had to choose. Like they weren't going to hire, they weren't going to employ both. So it is part of their business model. They want to keep their costs down. They want to expand their gross. They want to pay off their investors as big as possible. They want to line their pockets. They want to be rich. It's the world we live in, and hating people for being really good at it. It seems like a trend, but at the end of the day, I think that they're smart enough that when you buy a business like that, to let the people that know what they're doing do it. That's kind of part of their business model of we'll reap all the benefits. We'll just let them already do what they're doing.
We will own you, but that's because you're already killing the game, but we got a lot of money to put behind you.
That's it, right? Like, so yeah, bigger decisions about locations of WrestleManias and shit. Definitely board level. Definitely The Rock would get a sway in the meeting of if he even showed up. That, you know, he'd have an influence on what he thought going into some type of board level vote on a big issue. Personnel is 100% Triple H and his team.
Fair enough. No, I love that, and I love Lady B saying if Miz goes anywhere, it needs to be GM of NXT.
Yeah, I take that.
I think Miz might be done in wrestling. That's why I wonder. I might a bit, and I'm not going to fully go back to this argument, but with our truth I wonder if that might be his last wrestling contract. Like I wonder if he might just be done. If you even said he's 53, he's got the music thing going and everything like that. He can just show up at any con in any state at any time and you know just make money hand over fist.
Yeah, for sure. As Bourne gets the roll up. We got 1-1 with 45 seconds on the clock. Do you agree with me that Carlito's second run was not great? You know, Carlito didn't have a good run this time.
I don't count it as a run.
Right? You were just employed. Oh, wow. Bridging roll up.
Right?
Crazy move. It's a bendy white dude.
Well, the big ass Randy Orton dropkick there. The man's got uppity just from nothing.
We gotta win on a drop kick, bro.
When's the last?
Let's go.
When in the last time of when people didn't have twirly mustaches and you had to put a fucking valve down for a sarsaparilla, did we see a match end on a drop kick?
I can't tell you the last time I saw a drop kick end a match. I honestly can't think of it.
Brought to you by Jack Daniels.
Right. Carlito was very entertaining. Carlito was brought in for support, comic relief. It seemed like he really enjoyed himself. And I think it's expectations, right? Like the same thing with R-Truth, Carlito. Like it's not going to be R-Truth versus Carlito at WrestleMania or, you know, Carlito winning Money in the Bank. Like that's just not where they're at in their career. So respectfully, it's, you know, it's the circle of life, Simba.
Everything the light touches. TKO. But no,
no handshake.
Oh,
sorry, no handshake. As that means Bourne is free.
He is free again, free at last. Miles Bourne. As we've got the Cullen
Oh, what the fuck?
get jumped by. What the
Is
fuck?
he laid out Jensen?
So is Dane just kicking out Brooks Jensen? He was never fully bought in.
What the fuck?
He didn't have the mohawk haircut. He only had a mullet haircut.
Well, he can't grow the mohawk.
Hawk.
Yeah, I don't think he can pull off a mohawk.
Well, that's just bullshit, and that's just dumb, is what that was.
But does that mean somebody new was a coming?
Who?
Who?
Well, and what you were saying, even too, of I will take the Carlito release independently, because again, this man has just been all but forgotten since R-Truth got released or not renewed. Of Carlito, honestly, can anyone name a segment that didn't take place at Backlash Puerto Rico that involved Carlito that anyone remembers, that if Carlito wasn't there would have mattered? Anything. And I do mean anything.
Outside of like when they were playing around with the phone and like Liv had sent a picture and that's cool, and doing the old slapsticky Porky's routine of peeking their head around the corner and catching Liv and Dom provocatively stretching together. I don't think that's what his role was. Was he in a singles match? Maybe one or two singles matches?
Mostly tag matches, and that was because JD got hurt. I was gonna say, of like, you want to say, well, R-Truth wasn't on TV ever. No. Carlito was on TV even less.
Yeah, and I mean, I think if you look at what you have going on, if you say, okay, we're gonna move Carlito out, but we have this person, I'm not sure who it would be. He can slide into that Carlito spot and do just fine, and that's up to them to figure out.
What is Grayson Waller?
Right. Ask AJ if he had ginger. He got the gingivitis.
Yeah. Dale's 2-0. Daryl saying Eric Young joined the Cullen.
Oh, I don't. Vince turned him off of the WWE so bad. I don't know that he'd go back, even though.
Right, but don't remember, there's a section of the fan base that wants him back, right? The same fan base that, hated everything that he did, that fucking pro wrestlers even despised working under him. But the fan base wants him back, right? Because Triple H is so fucking bad, right? Because, oh my God, I can't stand this. It's so terrible.
Dude, do you remember when every week a new episode of fucking Talking Jericho dropped, and every week it was another ex-WWE person who just went on and on and on? FTR, Jericho himself. The list just kept getting bigger and bigger. Swerve. And like everyone was just like, I hate the fucking place. They drive me nuts. Nobody listens. I never get to talk to Vince. Again, it's crazy. And I know somebody out there was talking about like, AEW doesn't have that, man. There's 50 ex-WWE talent, not counting their referees, their commentary.
Oh no, that's the number you saw, because I might be the same account that you saw, but I think they labeled it as like 163 ex-WWE.
No, they were almost saying like it's not that much. Like there was a very little number, but when I went through it, I think their numbers were off, because I got 10 women for sure. There's at least 40 men, and it all depends. Like how many other people on the roster, including the Bucks, have all gone through the WWE doors, had tryouts and had moments. Like it's a funny take.
Brass tacks here, but it's still at the end of the day of like, we want to go back. Why are we wanting to go back into fucking caveman territory here with this shit?
Right? Yeah, I don't think so. It's the wrong direction. And I do think, whether we love it or hate it, I do believe they internally have a plan for sure.
That's not a jail free. You can have a plan. It could be the wrong plan. I think that they are aware. I think, though, much more than what other management was or is aware of. Okay. What is being discussed about them. As much as Hunter says, I don't pay attention to the internet. Don't be a critic, be a fan, and everything. Yeah. I think he's always been that guy that pays attention.
Okay, I'll be right back, Nick. But I agree. Like, I mean, they have people who work the social media department. There's people that are paying attention, seeing what's trending. What are people talking about? And it doesn't mean they go, "Oh shit, we should change." But they're very aware that the bulk of the internet audience hate Travis Scott, and not in a good way. They're very aware. We saw what happened. The Rock pivot last year. It doesn't mean they listen to everything, but they do try and go, okay, how do we not do that? How do we change this? But the idea that they're just flying blind, I think is silly by some.
If this is the greatest work in history, and still, even I found it funny, I guess we agree with a Hall of Famer of that if John Cena took credit for it, whether it's true or not, took credit for R-Truth not being there of Ron, when you do this, there will be repercussions.
Yeah.
And now I've sold my soul to Dwayne.
Mm-hmm.
And all I got to do is make a phone call. And R-Truth's not here. I'm ruining wrestling. I took away who you love.
Right? Like, who's next to step up? Who's going to risk their job? Because you step to me, you end up on the unemployment line with Truth.
Make all of his matches title versus career.
Yeah. Now I think C Money or somebody in the chat.
Yeah, no, it was C Money.
Yeah, that's a great shout. If they knew this was coming, that would have been a great opportunity. But I'm going to take this opportunity. Go, Tyra.
Right, you go staying in Ariana's grace over there, my guy. KJ basking in the glory that is little Santana as we're about to get Tyra Mae Steel's debut from LFG versus Ariana Grace, the recent record breaker, history maker of first ever father-daughter, Christ almighty, father-daughter, people aren't going to let me live that down, but father-daughter tag team on TNA. But Tyra Mae Steel going on against Ariana Grace. Let me know who you're taking and why is it Tyra? Because it's your debut match. Ariana Grace, she's, again, much like her father, of known a bit better as being a personality and a character who can get in the ring versus an in-ring talent, what have you, versus a former King Olympian, by the way. Ariana Grace got Steel for the win. Ariana been a jobber her whole NXT tenure. Well, you mean her whole wrestling career, because she's pretty much been in NXT her whole wrestling career. MDB, whoop her Canadian ass, Tyra. America. MDB just out there fully on the American 5-star match. Who did the gimmick first, Ariana Grace or Toni Storm? Oh, if you're talking about her trying to act like some Hollywood starlet and everything, yeah, 100% Toni Storm. But I don't even think she's in that limelight, I will say. I think she's very much she's still supposed to be the queen. She is still wrestling royalty-ish a bit. She's a former, she was doing the pageant queen gimmick a bit before and everything. I like Canada, but love America. Subtext. Paul's agreeing with Johnny. What did Johnny say? Nick, TKO taking over WWE has been one of the worst things to happen to WWE. They are slowly killing WWE. I think that is the flavor of the month opinion. Honestly. And again, Johnny, respect you, love you, appreciate you, Devin, all of that. Anybody that feels this type of way. I have very much staunchly argued against a lot of the decisions that have done recently. I don't think it is this fucking slow bleed that everybody thinks it is. If it turns out that I'm wrong and that's what it really ends up being, then God damn it, I wish we could course correct. As Tyra gets the win on a bridging suplex and just stares down the camera. Look at a goddamn badass. I don't think that because the same people that feel this way were the same people that were super excited a month ago, 2 months ago, 3 months ago. Like, that's the thing, is I think it's been a big shift one way of very much you already had your wrestling fans kind of triggered. You already had almost that flashpoint of you might have allegedly priced out your fans. We've talked about that again. Speak with your wallet, folks. of you might have priced out your fans, you switch up the dates and everything, which feels kind of sus and everything, and then you turn around and follow that up with something that the fan base is clearly not going to like. It might have been one of those of you just went so fast, you're like you turned over Flashpoint. You just went from being, super, being, at the getting hottest moment there, and then you just getting burned it all up. Sorry, guys, they were catching everybody's reactions to JC Jane with the surprise win on NXT last week here. You all may be shocked, but I'm not. From JC Jane on Twitter. That's a boss-ass tweet. That's a boss-ass statement. Nick, I asked you and KJ earlier if you believe Moxley will come back to a post-Vince WWE. No, because I still think different name, same restrictions, almost a bit of, I don't think Jon Moxley, what he's doing in AEW does not work at all in a TKO-owned WWE, I feel. He would very much have to not have much control in what he's doing or creative control. He would have to, you can't have every match's barbed wire and blood, guts, and gore, and, you bleed in every match. That's not going to be a thing, John. So I don't think he's a guy that can work backwards towards that. KJ is a top 5 Canadian in my Drake, my future ex-wife, Seth Rogen are ahead of him sadly, though. Touche, Tabernacle. As I'm in commercial break, so I will remind everybody, as we've got 92 in the chat with us right now, as I've seen over 100, close to 100, all of that. So be a friend, tell a friend, like, share, and subscribe. And again, we're doing our best to say hi to everybody in the chat, but y'all be popping off, and I love to see it. Trust me, that's a motivation to us when we got to try and play catch up with y'all and everything like that. Absolutely, it's nothing but good news. The IWC is crying again. Random comment: have y'all ever noticed Seth Rogen sounds like a defeated basketball being dribbled? Fair enough. Well, MDB, and while I'm asking this out there, my laugh at times has been compared to Seth Rogen. I don't know if it's true or not. Again, I don't wear headphones or anything, so I can't hear myself. But yeah, side tangent, I guess, just because we're mentioning Seth Rogen. Even Seth, come on. What's wrong with Seth? Seth, it's not Seth Rollins. You're not at least, getting a stomp, but yeah. Seth Rollins dope. You're moving up in the ranks, KJ. This channel is better than Knocked Up. That'll be you wait until season 5, my guy. We're planning a whole angle. You're giving away the spoilers before we even get there. Man's got the scripts already leaked out to him here. We were planning a whole pregnancy angle, all of that. We were going to do a Who's the Father, me or Anthony. WWE wouldn't need the Red Cross on retainer of Mark. Yeah, he would. No, I'm still waiting for that to be Ric Flair, which Ric Flair is a detriment more onto himself than anything. Johnny Chicken, I love it. There you go. I feel like chicken tonight. Fact City B. I love you too. I love you, Solo. Lenny the Cool. Big Nick kind of does sound like Seth Rogen. I can hear it now. Thanks. There we go. Anthony for sure is the pappy. The pappy or the mammy. But yes, I'm in commercial break again. We are back at it like a jackrabbit as we just had Tyra Steel pick up her debut win. We had Miles Bourne pick up the win over Dempsey. Be a friend, tell a friend, grab your merch. Trust me, I'm out here in the freshest of Hugh Meltzer t-shirts out there. But 100%. Other wrestling shows and every other podcasts out there, they try and say the shirts. They tell you it's nice and everything. You go, you order it, you buy it, and it's burlap sap with some ox skin, branding, some cattle brand stamped on for the logo and everything. This out here, finest Corinthian leather, finest, Parisian fabrics out there. You know, keeps you cold in the keeps you warm in the winter and keeps you cool in the summer. Oh, that be a friend, tell a friend. As we got an hour left, as we got Mike Santana backstage here, and oh my God, does he feel absolutely Hunter? All might be forgiven, Hunter. I'm gonna just say this right now. All might be forgiven if you let R-Truth go to sign Mike Santana. Like the Mariah May, maybe. If we need to make room in the budget so we can have Mike Santana, maybe I don't feel so bad. Maybe I can talk about that. But 100%, Mike Santana is 2025 Eddie Kingston in the way of, and then just in the way of how you believe everything with this man. He's cutting a promo right now, straight into the hard cam, straight into the camera, and everything. You absolutely believe everything that he's speaking. He sat there and was putting out tweets of, I'm doing this for my daughter, of I'm fighting not just for me, I'm fighting for TNA, of this is where we prove everything right. And especially when we're about to get into, I believe, House of Glories, doing a whole Puerto Rican appreciation show or anything, or Puerto Rican week, as Fatal Influence coming out right now. Oh boy. Victoria's Secret isn't well kept with them, I would say that. They're very much, they shop in the lingerie section. As we're hyping up JC, Mike Santana in the house, Johnny. Chingy Little was a story about a character that scared everyone by Crime Wolf, the sky fall. Why are we breaking? What did I miss? If we're just now going out here, we're bringing up, the boy who cried wolf here. We already know WWE is getting Hendry. Santana would be a fun pickup too, as well. Absolutely. And we're getting into the conversations of WWE is pillaging TNA. Passionate promo by Mike Santana. Man, Anthony's just testing out my pop filter. 100%. If we sign Santana, Chase U volunteers as tribute. Yes, they do. Take them all the way to TNA. They can be TNA University. Let's see who faces JC next. Well, that's going to be the interesting question of who is the next in line. Could it be is it a Lash Legend? Is it a Callie Armstrong, of recent winner of the Evolve Women's Championship? Now that you've got Stephanie, you've allegedly got Jordan moving on. You had Julia move on. Roxanne's moved on. The women's division, the top of the women's divisions, essentially been cleared out here. So who is the next? And what is the next stage of this evolution in NXT right now? It's still a mystery. Lenny, it's kind of weird not having Christian Power in the chat. Talking about hockey jersey and Kale, where he at? Did you just release your burner account when Christian Power was mentioned,
right?
And all of a sudden you appear?
Right? Yeah, no, busted.
I was gonna say, are you me? Am I you?
I don't know what's happening right now. Wait.
I'm gonna move you, but yeah, there we go. Nope.
You move me. You move me, sir.
Well, I tried. Hands up, hands to Jeebus, as I've got JC Jane cutting a promo right now with the rest of. Hello. Good Hollywood Squares out here, folks.
We're playing games, folks. We're playing games. We'll see what happens.
I know this one. Nope, I tried to move us, and I don't know if it did it. So, folks, playing the role of Big Nick tonight is KJ White, and playing the role of KJ White tonight is me.
It's stuck.
Much like the booking, it feels like it might be just kind of stuck in a direction.
Right.
Oh, well, and Fallon still keeps having this little Mother, will you just shut up?
Oh,
Kind of vibe. Who the fuck are you? Oh, she's from TNA. She's the one that's not the elegance.
it's Lana Ray.
She looks like she needed to come out here with a jug of moonshine or something. That. Hallelujah.
No, it didn't. It
Hallelujah.
didn't switch.
Folks, the vitamins might have made the pages stick together, and you watch it live in real time. Oh, her name was Lola.
Lola looking good. She wants that belt, Nick. You talked about a bit of a void. Now you got Lola, you got Zarya, you got Ruka, you got Jordan Grace.
Well, that's why I was wondering if she's here for a long time or here for a good time. I was halfway expecting Miss Parker, but yeah.
Non-stop boos. Let's go. She got good heat for JC.
In a world where Trick Williams is TNA champion, so even right now in this segment, we're putting over Trick being TNA champion.
Right?
Oh,
Oh,
hi, Miss Parker. I was just a little bit early. How you doing, Miss Parker? Hi.
What did we do?
What in the space-time continuum is happening?
Nothing's happening.
It's all in my mind. It has got Kalani Jordan coming out right now, and one of the in Treehouse of Horror we in right now with this. Make up your mind on what you're doing.
It's not me.
What? All right. Well, I got Lash. When did Lash get? Why is Lash paired with Kalani when she should have been paired with Jakara?
They like Kalani better.
I don't give a fuck. We like in Jakara Jackson better. We don't like Kalani Jordan the same way.
They like Kalani better.
Why? But no, you broke her up from a pairing to put her in a pairing.
I don't really think she's in a pairing. I actually think she might be a real good challenger to the title. Lights out,
Rosemary.
Sex law.
I'm gonna leave.
All right, look who it is.
Holy shit!
Jesus.
Mariah May, NXT bound, and hey, we talked about this sooner rather than later. A la Ricky Saints out there. Mariah May. I have finally arrived. Hey, Tony. Here, bro. What to bro?
She's here. She looks even better in person, says Corey.
Hey, it's been a minute since we've seen her. Yo, but this is the thing. We talked about this. If you're gonna have
name? Is it May Mariah?
Don't you fuck with me.
What's her new name? What's her new name?
What's in a name? Oh, in a name. As the crowd, holy. I want to be in the best women's division in the world. Shots fired.
The best women's in the world just got a lot more glamorous. Let's fucking go.
Well, we talked about it. If you're going to have this new rebirth, this new head of the divisions, Mariah May, 100% is the fucking flag bearer, is the one that just is leading the goddamn charge.
Look at the chat. Look at the chat. Look at the chat. Oh, it's stacked as shit, man. You're not wrong, MDB. Again, when you can give up Julia and Roxanne and Stephanie Vacour and be just fine. Like, there is plenty of talent. And now they're starting to onboard some of the LFG talent. They're starting to see people come in from Evolve. You have other names out there, TNA getting involved. there is no lack of talent in the NXT women's division.
Well, in the company, in that brand, what have you, it is NXT. Yeah, you bald fraud. But it is NXT a third brand now? Is it no longer developmental? It is at best developmental light. It is a transition. It is a lesser third brand. It is not truly developmental anymore.
Yeah, I would really argue that things like Evolve, their other programs, their training center, the way they're kind of running everything below NXT, yeah, you're gonna get younger developing talent, but you're also gonna get like a veteran like Ricky, a veteran like Jordan, a veteran like Ethan and Sean Spears all in the mix. So it's not just all the youngsters. It's not the developmental that it was when you had, Seth Rollins first get there and Husky Harris first get there and Big E Langston. It's a different vibe now.
Well, yeah, now we've just had
Mariah
the two biggest free agent signings of recent memory of WWE have both debuted in NXT. Ricky Saints and Mariah May, both rather quickly. Fucking 90 days, I guess, says Tony. But yeah, rather quickly of Mariah May here in NXT. Absolutely. NXT's become can't miss. Between the TNA crossover and now this, it's can't miss.
I would argue, yeah, I agree with you. I mean, we talk about it. Whether you love or hate JC as a champion, I don't think it's fair to have a full judgment on her. Her winning was a huge surprise. But again, if she's carrying the ball now for a Jordan and Grace to get it, she's a good heel to work against. She might not have the longest run, but they're really dialed in, and I think they're going to continue to build and build. Mariah May stings a little for the other side. I don't really think the sickos are feeling this one tonight, and it's a tough spin of, we didn't want her anyway. She was great. She is great.
That's the one that you didn't see coming. That you didn't see.
You didn't expect.
Well, yeah, you didn't. There was no crash out with Edge because Edge got mad because you made fun of him on live TV or anything like that. There was no, we used to work there and we're not using quite so much. You used her at the pinnacle. She's arguably one of the best storylines that AEW's ever done. Is Mariah May and Tony Storm.
Yeah.
And she said, nah, you can have that. That ain't even what I'm mad at. I'm going to go work over there, and pointedly mentions, I have finally arrived.
Right? The best women's division in the world just got more glamorous, folks. That was her words. That was poignant. And I think what I think as I thought what I thought. I think what's unique with Mariah May, we talk about Ricky Starks being on the bench. We talk about Ethan Page being on the bench, or whoever, Lexis King, you name it, whatever. Penta, Phoenix. Mariah May was somebody booked in a top spot, booked consistently, booked pretty well. Like you said, that angle with Tony Storm was great. And she opted out, as we got Kaylee Armstrong with Stevie Turner and a bunch of other, who are these?
Evolve talent. We've got Carly Bright.
I know the one lady from LFG.
Yes, we've got Callie Armstrong out there, the new Evolve Women's Champion. But yeah, it's so interesting to have a talent that was at like the top and just disappeared. Fucking like Kaiser Soze just getting faded off in the mist of Tony won the Yamapata getting street fight match there to where they're dipping each other's hands in a broken glass and shit. Pit fighting shit. They won that. And then Mariah May just never showed up ever again. She went off into infinity.
Yeah, and I think the really crazy part about it is like she was a women's champion up until February 15th of this year. So in 2025, she can be NXT World Champion and AEW World Champion in the same calendar year.
That's insane to think about it. As I have Well, I'm going to take the easy transition here of going from talking about a vanity project to another vanity project, as we've got all egos out here. And this writes himself of we switching from a talent from AEW to vanity projects and all egos. But I will be right back, sir.
Right. But hey, listen, if they put Ethan Page with the vanity project, what is happening here tonight? I don't know if you can hear me, folks. We are having a bit of a technical difficulty, so you're going to have to bear with me for a second. But, yeah, I mean, if you put all of these people together, all these douchebags together, you might have something with Ethan Page. But here comes Dragon Lee. So I think I put a chat up well earlier and forgot about it. This is the craziest thing. But anyway, folks, we are rolling on. As always, we are live more than anybody else. So we run into some snags once in a while. At this moment, our provider has us frozen. So it looks a little odd. But hey, this is better than nothing. There you go. There you go. As soon as I can fix that, we will. But ladies and gentlemen, we have the keep all these guys together. The all egos, the whole team. Ethan Page coming out. Let me put a poll up for this one. So I think it's a good time to remind everybody out there, we will be live at 2 p.m. on Saturday. We're getting ready for Worlds Collide. We will be here nice and early on Saturday. Grab your snacks, grab your feel good, and get in for the marathon. We'll cover Worlds Collide, and then we'll be back through for the hell. But yeah, we will be back for Money in the Bank. We're not going anywhere. We're going to just stick around all night long as Legacy, Javon, Laredo Kid, and Dragon Lee on one team, taking on the Frat Boys and all ego Ethan Page. How you feel? How you feel? How you feel? Mariah May could be called up by SummerSlam. Facts. Could be a very short stint. We just saw what happened with Stephanie. We just saw what happened with Julia. This could be very short-lived. I mean, Lady B, MDB, we're throwing out other months. Will be Mariah June, Mariah July. So Ricky written off temporarily, Richard. Rumor is he's going up. So that could be why. Oh, y'all pissed about truth? Watch what I give y'all on NXT tomorrow. I think, MDB, you can let me know. Anyone else in the chat can let me know as well. I feel like we've got a lot of crazy shit in 2025. I feel like the fan base has a very bad memory, like a very bad short-term memory. And it's like they have no idea. They have no idea how fortunate we've been. We've got a lot of good shit going. And this summer is going to be great. 2-night SummerSlam, all in. At the end of the summer, All Out's coming to Toronto. There's so much going on in the wrestling world that I just think that we're like, sometimes we get so caught up in the flow of the argument that we're missing out on a lot of crazy things all in one calendar year. All ego faction for the win. I could see it. 67% of the chat taking luchas, 33% taking all egos. So the baby faces have the lead. JC Jane is hot since Mandy Rose. There you go. There you go. Someone had to fill in. KJ got abducted. Help. It's been a weird night, Lady B. It's been a weird night. The system is not cooperating, but we're still going. The show rolls on. We've had mic problems. I'm just happy I'm not T-Paining right now. We've had background issues. Things happen. We're live way too much for things to not go wrong. All right, just gone. Poof. Y'all can see me now, though, I hope. Talking to myself. Team Evans, let's go. I got my girl Callie Armstrong coming to NXT next week. Can't wait. Yeah, Callie's going to be putting that belt on the line as I got Legacy pushed into the corner. I hope the Oilers win. I'm with you, Quake. Go Oil. Aerostar. Let's go. I didn't see him. KJY, anyone would want WWE to drop all the developmental programs in the chat? I don't know what you're talking about, ye God. I can't imagine anybody suggested that, though I do believe their developmental has shifted. And NXT really does feel like a third brand. It does good numbers. I mean, regardless of what people want to try and portray, their ratings are above, their main competition. There's a lot of positives here, but it's not the developmental it was, right? Where, we're seeing young talent, but it's more make or break, and you got to put on the good matches. It's still being assessed on its own merit. So, yeah. Blink twice if you're okay. I do not have a set of special skills to save you. Well, Lady B, then what are we going to do? But I think I'm all right. I think. What the fuck? Mariah May has arrived again. The big news, if you are just tuning in, Mariah May has arrived to NXT. Let's go. And I know a lot of fans out there are going to try and play this down, but let's be real. This one stings the sickos a little bit. Absolutely. Mariah May making a splash. It's still May in the WWE. All right. WFU. Hey, what's up? Adrian, how you doing? KJ got the best face reaction of all time. That's why I love pro wrestling. See KJ Nick's face expression make me feel like a kid. That's it. It's suspension of disbelief, my guy. And that's why we're here. That's why we love doing it. And it's always fun. And sometimes it's not both guys pop. One of us might scream. The other one might cheer. It makes for the fun. It really does. Yes, I'm stuck, Timmy. I'm stuck. What match are you looking forward to? Money in the Bank. Listen, I gotta honestly say, I feel like I know these matches are going to get timed. Great. 4 matches is not enough. 4 is not enough. As Javon has the crowd on fire. And Grace 29 and Mariah 26 is great for their women's division as their established stars age out like Becky and Charlotte. Facts. And that's what we see. That's what we're seeing, Richard. And again, we see Julia. We see, even someone like Kyrie's back on the scene. She's still got lots of, a lot of career left. You have Tiffany Stratton just starting. Speaking of lots of career.
Well, and back on the scene of, I don't know about lots of career left here. This is getting, confusing more than a mystery out here.
We're stuck.
Well, that's why I was like, I'm trying to help. I don't know if I'm helping or not.
I know.
I put you in the thing and then you went back out of the thing. But yes, no. Mariah May here being involved of as much as AEW fan, of diehard tribalists, not our audience, not the, in-betweeners versus the believers, I guess I'll put it that
The
way.
sickos.
You're right. But can go from show to show and everything. That is very much that is a shot across the bow, because that's one that you didn't expect to lose and you lost pretty hard.
Yeah, and her statement was so emphatic, right? And I know the fan bases and how they love it. And some people that never ever watch NXT will only see a clip, and instantaneously they will have this, kind of reaction to whatever happened here and start defending the company. Nick will remind everybody that you do not work there.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. Of trust me, I'm out there of wanting, we need almost dare shirts of like, you don't work there, just letting you know. And people were calling me out on that last night in MDB here. Nick, we got to know, would you trade R-Truth for 10 years of Mariah May in WWE? Like I said, I am still a reasonable fan of, I can see the justification, the reasoning of it still. That's why I'm not sour grapes over Carlito of if a Miz up and leaves, thanks for playing, all of that. To me, it's R-Truth's a bit of a special case when it comes to all of those. But we've talked about this earlier tonight of that WWE's moving in a youth movement. We're getting literally the Vanity Project, the All Ego Project out here on Sean Legacy, Laredo Kid, and Dragon Lee.
Yeah. And I mean, I think
when no one in this match is above the age of 30.
No, not even close. Actually, Ethan might be 30, over 30. Other than that, he don't count. He's not part of the crew. But Nick, you remember when like everybody started jumping ship from WWE to WCW, and the fan base kind of felt similar to now of like, oh, who's this guy? Like Brad was the champ. Shawn Michaels wasn't, just came off being a rocker. Now he's being pushed, up the ladder. It was just very in flux. They had to build from within to kind of get into the next generation. That's kind of what I feel like we're seeing a little bit here of the fans aren't totally into everybody yet, but we're watching them kind of grow.
Dare I say you're quoting Fall Out Boy of this ain't in a scene. This is a goddamn arms race. A little bit here of where, setting up of who's going to be in the next 10 years, your Steve Austins, your Dwaynes, your Hunters, your Stings, your Lugers, your Hulls, your Nashes, what have you.
Yeah. And that's what I mean. You got Braun Breaker, Bronson. We talk a lot about, what's Theory's future look like. And nice super kick by Dragon Lee. You see a lot of the talent. You got a guy like CM Punk. He's not going to be here much longer. We got, he's going to do his best, but he's Reg Dunlop, player coach, and he's going to transition.
Well, he's out there calling everybody and anybody on anything.
Right. So, I mean, in time, I think this is what we're watching. I think this is kind of a new vibe. I think the fans, Laredo Kid died.
Well, no, he just unalived. Oh
no. And that's how you make everyone forget.
But a Page with a drop kick out. But I like this though. This is I need this as a star. KJ is in Nick's spot. What is some Freaky Friday shit? Trust me, this has been all the Freaky Fridays, and it's only Tuesday, folks. And we got much more wrestling to deal with.
You'd be surprised how much of a mind trip it is to us.
Facts. I'm like, I'm not supposed to be over here. I was looking down. I'm like, is that even my name down there?
Right.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We're live, pal. When we're doing this 465 days in a 365-day calendar live here.
Brother.
Absolutely.
Oh, everybody down. Good match.
We're the Hulk Hogan of wrestling podcast. That's a terrible thing. I shouldn't have said that.
Oh, no, we're not. No,
we're not real American. We're barely a real Canadian.
Yeah, we got some backward stuff happening, but the names are on the right side again, so that's good news.
We're in the fucking upside down right now, folks, and hopefully, right side Fred. But yeah.
Big NXT
Plain.
change breakout.
Oh, chocolate 8 and Triple H's color palette.
I disagree. But I'm vanilla as fuck.
I can't speak from a place of knowledge on this, but Mans ain't beating the allegations. I can tell you that.
But I mean, based on what we're witnessing, I mean, there's a lot of contrary argument to that narrative, and I don't like that narrative.
Well, it's an easy, as Javon up on the top and then Laredo with a moonsault on the outside. It's an easy escape hatch to take. It's an easy, if you're having a discussion that, you know, you actually might have to put some thought and some consciousness and everything behind. It's an easy escape hatch to avoid the conversation.
Yeah, I want to see the receipts. If you're going to claim that somebody is that way,
MVP though was that I will respectfully say his opinion is it's an interesting. You have to source that a bit.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know if he directly dug into that specifically. But at the end of the day, I do believe that. I mean, I hate doing it, but we're kind of watching. I don't know. I don't see it. Maybe it's because of my lack of chocolate.
Fair enough. I'm not even a twist ice cream cone. I'm not even a twist soft serve. I'm just straight vanilla. But yeah, well, as Dragon Lee gets the win, but I'm going to move away from all of this.
I hope Laredo Kid's okay. He's holding that arm gingerly. Took a nasty spill on the tope.
Ooh. As we get the Del Rio stomp there, which, you know, we're exonerating Del Rio of all of his wrestling duties when it comes to anything involved with WWE.
Mm-hmm. I like Dragon Lee using the Selena Del Sol. But that's the win for the baby faces. Funny, Dragon Lee got the pin. He's not even in the four-way.
Well, he's about to probably be in NXT.
Right. I do like the idea. Someone asked about it earlier. Cruiserweight. Vince McMahon never understood cruiserweight wrestling at all. He was just like, okay, smaller guys fight each other the exact same way the big guys fight. You're like, no, Vince, that's not it. We don't want to see, 7-minute holds with the little guys. We need some running around. So I think the idea that Trips might try it, there's plenty of talent to pull it off now.
Well, was it almost more likely under He Who Shall Not Be Named, because not everyone is going to be your Daniel Bryan, not everyone's going to be your Rey Mysterio. That is the exception to the rule versus the rule. And he, especially at that point, had a lot of people that fit more of the rule and didn't have an avenue to use them. Versus now, I mean, Penta would be a cruiserweight, a light heavyweight, what have you, Money in the Bank. There's a lot more people, I think, in WWE currently that would fit that light heavyweight, cruiserweight role. I don't like Cage on the right side. Can you trust me?
I'm chuckling.
Awkward. As awkward as this is to y'all, this feels as awkward to us.
I know you're making
the mirror.
You're making a solid wrestling point. But the chat is just not happy with, we're tweaking people's minds. We're making them go cross-eyed, trying to follow us around like Shawn Michaels. It's not a good vibe out there.
We're wonky-eyed, Shawn. Don't you say that. I'll fix this right now. What do we got to do? Do we got to?
No, whatever you.
I'm not touching nothing.
Don't touch nothing. We're stuck. Like
this is what it is. We're in the upside down here, folks. So trust me, again, like you even said that. We've been here with audio issues, with video issues of I'm here, but time in it, space-time continuum. But yeah.
Well, yeah, like with close, somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,500 live streams. This is the first time the windows have got stuck. And even when I go through the back to kind of play with the windows, in the window, you're stuck. We're stuck, folks. So there you go.
Yeah, I tried to help, and you reverted back to an issue. So it's like,
no, it's not. It didn't matter what you did.
No. That's why, like I said, if I didn't know, I was trying to help and didn't realize that there is no helping. There is no pleasing you, folks.
There is
What is the
no.
IWC? There is no pleasing you.
We are.
Oh, that's how they please you. Oh, fuck. Now we got to stay here because we've been here. But yeah, there is no. You would have pleased everybody if I was in that small picture there, just silent.
You're stuck down in the little window.
I'm just, the mini me.
Right. Are there black Canadians? Yes, sir. Yes, that's
Patrick Subban would like to fight you over that.
Yeah, I really hope that wasn't. Again, we are a very multicultural place. And yeah, that's partly why we're not nearly as diverse.
I live in New Hampshire, and you're more cultural than
we're one of the most multicultural cities in the entire world as far as Toronto goes.
Yeah, I know.
As far as our country goes, it's stacked. It's literally, you feel like you're in a different country at times.
Well, I like restart the whole stream. I can't even look at you guys. This is disgusting.
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are in a commercial break. Not much time left on the clock as we're going to get down to the nitty gritty. We still have a world title match. The TNA title is on the line. Mike Santana tries to take back the property that does not belong to NXT that Trick has held on to up until now. So we will see, can he win it back?
Right. You guys, the podcast or channel, more fun watching.
So what we do.
Right. And then instantly, Mr. Quake, PK hasn't won a cup.
No.
Just instantly, I mentioned Subban. You gotta get shit on him instantly.
PK is a crazy case because he was still he was young and was just like, I've done enough. Thanks.
The whole Canadians team of whether it's Subban or whether it's Carey Price is such a weird case.
Yeah, Price's story was a little sadder and a little more complicated, but it was kind of like this vibe of okay, yeah,
Yeah, but Carey Price was a fucking world beater. I remember the best watching Canadians games just to watch Price.
Oh, for sure, he was a killer. But Oba standing face to face with Jasper Troy.
I've never seen someone that can look Oba eye to eye, if anything is looking at Oba and his eyebrows, his forehead versus eye to eye.
Right. It's so funny. Both of us are leaning away from each other at the moment. I'm leaning this way.
We're so used to it. It's just muscle memory. I've tried and I'm like, wait, which way do I move now?
Right. I swear to God, people, we're trying to focus here, but my God. OV is GOAT. I think OV's coming back. He ain't done yet.
Yo, sorry, what are you fucking doing? I need
Paxley.
Just bring in the Shrey. Oh, but she's got a cute little is Tatum Paxley the Stitch of the NXT women's locker room? You just gotta adopt her.
All I know is the last person on the roster I'm making friends with, because all her friends no longer work here. All her friends have been future endeavored.
All my friends dead. All my friends dead.
Right. Sorry, Pax, you a jinx. We got to move on.
Yeah, you're a Horcrux, motherfucker.
Hey, Nick KJ, do we really have to have 5 different developmental projects? TKO is spending too much money on that instead of spending it on truth. Wrong answer. And all the wrestlers, they just let go. No, because your future is so important. So if you're going to invest money, I'd invest it in our future. The NIL program is a smart program. We see how that's paying off. I don't really know that they have 5 full developmentals.
NIL, WWE, Evolve, NXT. I can get to 4.
Yeah, ish. And I mean, again, the debate on where that all stands. But Tony and Luca having a chat.
Well, let's shout out our buddy Vito. That's,
mad.
Up in arms and up in umbrage of, I got to stick out here for my good paisan of friend of the channel. Absolutely. Don Vito Corleone out there. There with the Lucky Crucifinos and all that. Yeah.
Well, similar to the chocolate conversation we recently had, I don't know if I'm allowed to speak on the Italian side of these things, the meatball side of the equation.
The marinade. The marinade.
But My
sauce
God.
or is it gravy? Is it sauce or is it gravy?
Right. It should be sauce, right? But
Right.
I mean, at the end of the day, is he mad at everybody that's done the Italian boss gimmick?
Again, like I said, friend of the channel, Vito. If you know WCW, Vito in a dress,
Yeah.
Vito, WCW hardcore champion, all of that, friend of the channel, all of that. It feels like he pretty much, he's been pitching to be involved as kind of the Dawn. And go ahead.
Sorry, real quick. You asked about Sean Legacy. He will fight the winner of from Worlds Collide. He will fight the winner on NXT.
As Worlds Collide for the title.
Yeah, the Fatal 4-Way. So he'll fight the winner of the Fatal 4-Way.
I didn't know the Fatal 4-Way was for the title. That's all.
As here comes Mike Santana, folks. And I will put a poll up. Back to you,
right?
Sir.
He needs to be fucking NXT main roster Monday Night Raw so fucking fast. His fucking head will spin. Damian Priest, eat your heart out. This is what I want. This is better than you. This is you. Yeah. Congratulations. Shake hands with your replacement, Damian, because Mike Santana has entered the conversation. But as I was saying of that with Big
look
Vito,
at this.
Elijah, who wants to walk with Ezekiel?
Right.
But coming up next, as I'm assuming we're on a commercial break. Yep, we are. But Vito's been pitching for a while to be kind of this Dawn character, to be the overarching, the Godfather with the Tony D'Angelo stuff and everything, or at least be involved a little bit with it. And I guess, according to the receipts he had of that, they were almost going to bring him in with it. Instead, they gave the match to Nunzio of doing the full-blooded Italians, all of that. And then they were saving him because he lives in Florida. So we'll do it when you're when we're closer to the PC Performance Center. We're doing it in Tampa, Orlando, all that. And that kind of went out the window. And he's mad at Stax and said Stax was disrespectful. And Stax allegedly ripped off his whole look, his whole gimmick of, I feel like, wanted to be very much involved in this.
Come on.
Hey, I got an Italian gimmick, and this is going on, and this is prominent in NXT.
The leather coat and the fucking and the bowler.
I sent it to the group chat. He provided a visual that is, I mean, it's not exactly trademarked, but yes.
Like, so I mean, he's not the OG Italian gimmick.
If that was the case, I could never wear this cap again.
Like, basically saying like the entire Sopranos show ripped off him.
I mean, you might not be wrong, but yeah.
Fair enough. You know, no disrespect, but it does seem like he's not even the first of his kind. Like, there was other, like, he was inspired by other Italian gimmicks.
Well, he's got the attention to, or the tie-in to Lucky Lucivino or whatever. Yeah, getting the actual mafiosa and everything like that. So yeah, I mean, it gets 2 paisans out of a 5 for me here. I don't know if I fully buy into it.
Okay. Yeah,
I mean, like I said, I would never be able to wear this hat again if I'm apparently stealing his fucking gimmick too here. Just he needs to grow a beard like I. And I say this as he's a friend of the channel and everything. Like,
oh yeah, Nick's like treading lightly. I'm like,
I don't listen. I don't want to be sleeping with the fishes. I know we're already got some wonky things on the stream. I don't know. All of a sudden, it's just going to be literally only KJ White out here.
Yeah, and I mean, again, I feel like it's an interesting claim. It's a tough one. It's like Charlotte being mad like she was the first ever like blonde gymnast gimmick. Like, nah, you weren't the OG one. And yeah, sure, you inspired a few others. We get you. You're an inspiration opposed to being stolen from, I think.
Fair enough. I like MVP. I mean, a snapback of fitted wouldn't kill you, Nick. Fitted, none of that. That's don't work.
Fitted all day long. Fitted since fucking 1995.
Fitted. I'm either flat brim or I'm doing this. There is no in between.
Nice. Sopranos meets Godfather. There you go. But where's Moose? Oh, sorry. Answer the first one, and then you can answer where's Moose.
Oh, I was just gonna say, are we at the pinnacle? Are we at the end of the Olive Garden storyline? Instead of the bloodline, we've got the Olive Garden, the marinara sauce.
Well, we laughed last week because they didn't get the restaurant scene. They were in the backstage, like they were just hanging out.
They can't afford the restaurant. They got the parking lot.
Yeah, they got to keep like the patio set from the restaurant, and they just take it wherever they go. We would need to have a conversation. Set up the chairs. Set up the chairs. Like, what are we doing? But I found it. So I thought if you have this big match with Stacks, and you have this big match, Crucifino comes out, maybe Rizza comes out, and it's this big turning of the family. The family turns on Tony. Stacks takes over. Maybe Stacks has got a surprise Goomba. But at the end of the day, there's this big, transition. To me, we got the match. It went the way we thought, but Stacks still doesn't feel like the leader, and there feels like there's still like this confusion on the inside. So to me, it kind of, all right. I was waiting for a moment.
It's been the issue consistently with this whole story from Tony to start to finish. Oh, it's always felt like this halfway stop-start of we start to go here and then we cut it off, and then we kind of go here and it doesn't exactly work out. We've gone from tracksuits and wife beaters to three-piece suits. We've gone from Olive Gardens to backstage parking lots. We've been a little all over the place with this. There doesn't feel like a consistent narrative, a mission, a focal point, an end point with this.
It just to me, it lacks intensity for what it's supposed to be, right? Like it's a mob war, and it feels like a mob.
But there's no other mob. You're fighting against yourself.
Yeah, but it lacks in intensity of this big betrayal. But here comes your TNA champion, folks, Trick Williams.
Speaking of things that won't lack intensity, this match at all. And I would not. Real quick, I love this stuff for him to be a surprise Goomba. Sounds like the Italian bubble guts. Yeah, that's why anytime I run into the bathroom, I got a surprise Goomba.
I got a surprise Goomba. I like it. 40% of the chat taking Santana, 47% of the chat taking Trick, and nobody getting 13%. Now, do keep in mind, Elijah is in the audience tonight. So on a night where we saw Mariah May, we see a new champion in a women's division that's, kind of jumping at all the free spots at the top. We get Elijah, we get Mike Santana, and we get a TNA title match. NXT continues to be a show of like, don't miss this one, and we're going to do some shit.
Oh, this is becoming can't miss. I used to say it was the most consistent night of television when it comes to wrestling. Now it's become the can't miss of you've got so many crossovers. This is you've got every TNA. Like we're getting a TNA title match. This should be the main event and might still be the main event of Against All Odds right now. We're getting it for free on NXT television. We had Mariah May show up. We just had Ricky Saints, a month or so ago show up. We just had the crazy episode of NXT last week here. This NXT is becoming a can't miss attraction.
Yeah, and I think that they're doing a really good job with title changes. We don't know when people are coming or going. If you don't like the over commercialized main roster vibe sometimes, this is a really good alternative. Good matches. We've had multiple good matches tonight, and a really strong NXT going into World's End, which should be fun.
Oh, absolutely. Well, and to think about this, like this is Anthony, I think have all kind of talked about this. We kind of thought if Trick was to become TNA champion, this felt like an end game. This felt like this is the final conclusion of this chapter here. So is this now just we're starting anew? Do we get Santana loses and we get a rematch here? Like, who do you have in this match?
I got Trick Williams here. I feel like it's too easy just to do it tonight. It's too easy. Just here you go. I want the struggle to be real on getting that belt back off Trick. And I'll be honest, I believe that Trick drops the TNA title and punches his ticket to the main roster. Period. Done.
Fair enough. I mean, I agree with you. I'm also going to keep the same energy that was presented to me with the whole Trick winning it on NXT versus TNA. Of you have Mike Santana winning on NXT, the most eyes, the most draw, the most attention, the most clicks, the most views. So if you're gonna have the title change to a WWE guy on NXT, might as well have him lose it to a TNA guy on NXT. Keep that same energy.
That's a fair vibe. I mean, the exception I think for me would have been just the pay-per-view versus regular TV.
Well, I said Trick should have lost it at Under Siege.
Yeah. So you got a valid point as far as my only issue is that it's so quick. I want it to be more of a like Mike wins tonight. It was almost all for naught. Like, oh, it was cool. I kind of want it to be more of a we got to pry this belt out of this guy's hands.
I'll give you that. It does diminish Joe's run a bit, and like on this past Thursday, Anthony loved it. Of the commentators were even like, "This is the dark days." WWE has the belt and TNA doesn't even have it. Like I could very much see of Santana, all the emotions, all the Twitter posts, everything of I need to win this for the Gipper, of I'm doing this for TNA, and you lose, and then now do it against all odds, or do you do it at Slammiversary?
I like it at Slammiversary. I'm trying to think right now. It is June 3rd.
Correct.
Slammiversary is the end of July 20th, I believe. So I don't mind the idea of holding on to that, holding on to this storyline until Slammiversary. And I think more and more people try. Santana tries to get it back, doesn't work. Maybe Ali tries next. Like Trick knocks down a couple people. And maybe it takes Joe, maybe it takes Santana a second try. But if he can hold it till Slammiversary, I think that's real cool.
Right. As Santana was about to dive out there. But if you do Trick versus Elijah at Against All Odds, which is literally on Friday, so we're in 3 days' time, 2 days' time at best.
Yes.
Of Santana up and over on a Trick on the outside. Then you save due to a triple threat. Do you run it back Santana versus Trick at Slammiversary?
Yeah, part of me thought, does it become a triple threat? I think the fact that I know Elijah's waiting for Friday also helps. I don't think they're going to do Santana versus Elijah right now. No. That's where I'm thinking, like if Santana wins tonight and goes on to Friday to just get a good win maybe over Elijah to say he did it, I think it makes more sense that Trick beats Elijah.
Well, yeah, I will give you that. Like I said, I'm more one of those of I'm gonna just keep the same energy. Y'all said that, well, they should have him change the belt on the biggest show on NXT to where he's getting the most eyes. So let's change it back the other way. But no, I agree with that fully. I could see it being a triple threat. I could see at the very least Slammiversary. You build this up of now you got that extra emotional. This is all going to be in a video package for Slammiversary when these guys have a rematch.
Oh, for sure. And you build to arguably, one or some people, one of the top two pay-per-views of their whole calendar, right? You have Slammiversary, you have what's the other big one?
Stand and Deliver?
No, that's NXT. I mean TNA.
Oh Christ! God damn it!
Hey,
the crossover is already taking it out. Bound for Glory.
Bound for Glory. Thank you. But this is a $10 super chat. Thank you, Spaz. We love it. We appreciate you. This is crazy. Mariah, Stephanie, Julia, Rhea, Charlotte, Becky, Lyra, Bailey, Roxy, Io, Asuka, Kyrie, Liv, Tiff, Soul, Fallon, Tatum, Chelsea, Alexa, Candace, Nikki, Ivy, Zoe, Jade. I don't know about Zoe. Zaria, Jordan, Kalani, Kiana, Lola, and Mishan. But I mean, again, that's not going to be perfect, accurate, obviously, Spaz. But my God, Nick, it's looking good.
Well, at least the competitors, and we've talked about it again, of WWE is moving towards the youth movement, even with a Becky Hogan, a Charlotte Hogan, however you want to label them. They are now more towards the back burner. Like, let's think about it. Becky, biggest star. We want to call her Becky Hogan. She's coming back to challenge for the North American title. Wait, hold on. Yeah, well, whatever. Mid-card title. Still, but we're going to sit there and, oh, well, she's trying to just take everybody down in the world title picture. She's got to put herself over on everybody, right? What?
Yeah, I mean, that's a valid point. And then that's what I think I get frustrated with, and why, if you can find a way to kind of look at most of the internet bullshit and with a smile and just kind of laugh at it, like it's comic relief, because some people are clearly out to lunch, but they fully believe it. Like, if you put them onto a lie detector, they're going to pass because they believe the nonsense that they're living in. And I think, to your point, they very much, they overlook certain things that don't fit the narrative, right? Like we had a narrative that was proposed earlier, but we saw things on this Friday that would say no to that. We saw things at WrestleMania that would counter that, but we overlook those moments because it doesn't help our argument.
Right. You talk about narratives. That's how you get spiteful in your DMs and everything like that.
Big kick, nice trick.
With a tornado, getting big boot to the goddamn face. 1, 2. But we've seen a youth movement. We've seen this whole shift in WWE is moving in a direction, and it's going to take a bit of time. Again, they are not without fault, but I think they are very much, it's hard to move the Titanic in a fucking kiddie pool, and that's what they're attempting to do.
So weird. Yeah, no, I completely agree with you, Brandon. Thank you so much for the 7K thing. Sorry, I kind of like,
no, trust me, it's all so weird. Of like, wait, do I do the hearts? Do I do the balloons right now? Because I'm over here.
Oh well. 2 count. Yeah, tricks all over Santana and getting booed the entire time.
Could you imagine though? R-Truth shows up in TNA. Hey, you work here too? Don't you know? Right. Or he shows up in AEW. Dean, what you doing here?
But imagine walking up to like EY and being like, "Hey, Triple H, when am I working today?" And like EY being like, "What?"
Hey, Tommaso Ciampa?
Yeah, right. Like something like that. You couldn't do that as well in AEW. You'd get away with more of it in TNA if he played that game and went there. AEW, there's a little more rules. They got to be a little more creative and cute about it.
Yeah, but I will say this, and I'm spinning back this way, of that. It shows of how much he was naturally over if he could just do some little shit like that, and how much he was valued. If he can do some little shit like that and it gets over.
Well, wow, Santana snapping.
Right up.
Santana like firing right up.
Right.
Big kick. Oh,
hey.
They're breakdance fighting.
Capoeira. It's called capoeira. Have you never played Tekken?
Oh, shit.
Oh, jump into the Death Belly Driver.
That was a deep DVD.
That's what you call when you get it stuck. When you get a DVD that shouldn't be stuck in the DVD. That's a deep DVD.
Great main event. Trick has definitely improved. He looks a little less apprehensive. I think he made a lot of mistakes in his feet. Always seemed to be going faster than his body.
He's slowed down. He has found the pace of what's going on. Because, yeah, you said he always felt like you're rushing through the drill. Like, no, the ball's going to hit at the 10-yard line. You're already jumping at the 5. Like, he's now finding a bit more of the pace, and it could be even he's in there with more veteran talent.
True. What a cutter. he just seems so much smoother going from one thing to the next. Even that the kick he threw there, it looked well done. Like he kind of.
I will say though, if he can put it together, he will pass Carmelo because he has the size. He has the size and equal charisma. Goddamn cannonball.
Yeah, a couple more intangibles, right? Two. What a match! What a match! You want this to matter? Here's a match to make it matter. And here's a guy in Mike Santana that if the fans didn't know who he was, they know who he is now.
Yeah. Well, that's even a bit with like, oh, they were so impressed with him backstage last week. It's like, no shit. Swan.
450.
Oh, no. He got a fucking finger. He got a finger on the rope.
Mike Santana just hit a 450. Mike Santana is not a guy that you expect to hit a 450. Like, he smashed him.
Facts. Well, and does Trick have, internal bleeding? Some people are saying he's a little busted open.
Maybe.
Well, it slides out. And that's just so crazy of thinking about it. How do you get out of this? So as Elijah, the guitar, we're going to break the guitar. This is how you get out of King. This, and you probably set up towards a triple threat of Elijah gets involved, accidentally costing Santana. Trick gets the win.
Wait. Hey! Look who's back! Look who's back!
AJ Francis is back in the NXT zone.
He's back!
They didn't have him go over the ropes. Instead, he pulled someone out front of the ropes because that's what he used.
Trick working with them two actually fits really nice. But my God, AJ Francis is back in NXT.
That's actually not a bad show. That's not a bad show.
Trick shot and over. There you go.
If you have them as first class together, and it works perfectly that way. Even if you don't, that's the heel faction that wants to ruin TNA a la John Cena. Yeah. But at the same time you have them, we talked about maybe Tricks with Dark State, maybe Tricks now he's out there with First Class and everything. I hate First Class.
Well, that they go off the air. The champion has his hand raised. AJ Francis, Casey Navarro says, put their own initiative ahead of the company. They don't care about TNA getting that title back. They did their damage tonight. It's crazy to see AJ Francis back in WWE. Kind of a cool moment. Again, we just finished talking about we're getting a lot of surprises on Tuesdays, bro.
This is so, but it's surprises done right. We saw a lot of surprises for a while in another 3-letter company. This is why NXT is can't miss. So whether it's NXT TNA, whether you got Trick TNA, whatever sort of 3 letters you want to throw in front of it at this point, Tuesday nights in wrestling has become can't miss. We had Mariah May show up tonight. We had Trick Williams go over Mike Santana, clearly probably setting up a rematch at some point. Elijah involved, First Class involved. I can't wait probably for and against all odds to where they're going to have a 6-man tag match or some shit like that. And then we're going to build to something later on. But yeah, Tuesday nights now have become, you expect the unexpected.
Yeah, don't miss. Something's going to happen that you're going to be like, I can't believe I missed that. And tonight's no different. And I think a lot of our conversation around releases and such, AJ France, a great example. When he left WWE, completely different vibe of who he was. Who he is now.
If you put AJ Francis and R-Truth in the same sentence.
Why not? I mean, again, in the sense of we were just, I didn't even say R-Truth. I said we had been talking about.
I was just preemptively telling you, I'm gonna fight you. Don't you go where you're going.
No matter what I say, 2 days, it's like R-Truth.
Yes, we want truth. We want truth.
Yeah,
it's a sensitive topic.
Right. No, all I'm saying is AJ France is a great example of a guy who went took the release from the WWE and turned it into something good and made something of it. And now we get a full circle moment. He is standing in Full Sail. Holy shit.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. I apologize. I thought
no hate, no shame to truth.
Listen, it's been a freaky Friday of an evening, even though it's a Tuesday here. So I thought you were going to go down a different avenue.
Next time this happens, we're just going to assume each other's personality. I'm going to act like you the entire time I'm on this side. That's what we're going to do.
So I just have to say A the whole time. A.
Yeah, you got to throw in a lot of A's.
I got to talk about hockey. A.
Right. I'm going to find random hills to die on.
Random hills to die on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you're new here, we take a rating out of 10 on every single show. What did you like? What didn't you like tonight? Nick and I will click through a few before we head out and get ready for Fighter Fest tomorrow. The 4-hour Wednesday extravaganza. Thank you.
Is it becoming more Fire Fest instead of Fighter Fest?
Yeah, I guess. Now,
it's a lot of back down the hatches of hoping that you just survive it. Yeah.
We got like a month of special dynamites coming up, like Grand Slams coming up, this summer bash or summer celebration things coming up, the 300th episodes coming up. It's like 4 straight weeks of special dynamites.
Aren't they all special in their own little way?
I'll accept that. 8 out of 10 from Dale. Flop dollar on NXT blows my mind. AJ Francis might be a good example of finessing your way back into the WWE. Yeah, 100%, man. Especially, I mean, he didn't leave on great terms.
He's the Bourne and Gumble of this whole situation. And Moses that threw his ass out the bar and just came back in the fucking back door.
That's the best way possible to explain that situation. That Trick era. I like Trick keeping the belt. I like that AJ Francis helped him. A huge heel moment. Lots of heat from the crowd. And how does this play into Against All Odds? How does this play into Slammiversary? This is good for both companies. I like it a lot.
Yes, much like the other Fergie hit with the First Class there. It's Fergalicious definition.
Oh, my. 8 out of 10. I don't even know how to respond to that, but 8 out of 10.
I don't know.
Getting the TNA title off Trick is NXT's best story right now. It's one of them for sure. One of them for sure. I'd argue, I mean, the women's division, the top of the women's division might be the thing I'm most interested in, but I like this a lot.
The Crimson Chin who got a crack. But yeah, no, I really liked that TNA is selling this of a war. They lost the biggest trophy to the enemy, the neighboring, tribe and everything like that. The neighbors just took best yard of the year and everything out here. We've lost the TNA championship to WWE out here. Yeah. We are all begotten in foreboding.
Yeah, and I think, like I said, I think if Mike Santana had won it back tonight, it almost doesn't feel like it had the impact you're hoping. Like Trick being difficult to steal this belt from and aligning him with other people to kind of help him protect this run. I like it. It's creating this intercompany war or this intercompany war where do we get some type of straight up battle between the two companies?
Well, and you're integrating him with existent TNA factions. Does he get more involved in that? Do you get a whole invasion angle type of thing between TNA and NXT?
Yeah, that becomes a very good question. 8.5 out of 10 from Ronan, 8 out of 10 from AJ, 8.5 from Mike, 8. Mr. Quake waving. Britt Baker's coming to WWE Universe. People keep saying it. I don't know. That's a tough one. I'll be shocked. But my God, the pop that's going to cause.
Wait, what?
Britt Baker coming to WWE.
I would argue Mariah May would have a better reaction.
You think so? Okay.
Britt's a little sour. I don't want to finish what I was about to say there.
Well, it's funny.
I think she's a little past the expiration date. She's past her best by date.
Absolutely. I don't know. That is a really good question. That's a tough one. There's going to be an interesting negotiation. NXT does have momentum right now. Raw and SmackDown is kind of relying on good matches at the moment. It's funny because I feel like that is part of like So they start giving us like better matches, and the people are like, we're bored. So you start giving them more story. They're like, we're not getting good wrestling. Help!
Yeah, I'm like, what is this argument? They're relying on good matches. What? Like,
finally,
isn't that supposed to be what they do? What?
8.75 out of 10. Big Nick turning heel. Where are you at with tonight? I mean, look, I'll be straight up with you. I'm going 9. I'm giving them a bonus point for surprising the shit out of me all night long.
Mariah May, that's just on us. If we got out here, we got Boston of you guys are on the wrong side of the screen. So
0
out of 10.
Failed.
Yeah, does this count? Does this count as, we didn't actually mail it in correctly because, we checked outside of the bubble there?
No, yeah. I mean, again, I would give us a bonus point tonight because through adversity, we persevered.
We used a number 3 pencil instead of a number 2. But Mariah, that's the thing is it feels so weird that Mariah May showed up tonight. And that's almost an afterthought to Trick and Santana of this shit's already been cooking, that Mariah May showed up.
Sorry. I thought you were still going. And I was just completely agreeing with you. I was kind of giving you like the, hey, brother. No, I completely agree in the sense of the main event was so good and the twist at the end got such a reaction that we have to go, oh, yeah, Mariah May came back. Not that it was bad. It was just the show is strong.
Came back. She debuted. It's one of those of holy shit. I came strucken down with poliosis that I forgot I had the flu type of shit of like one of those of just the shit was so ill at the back end that I forgot that we had the dope shit at the front of. I need to show up where the best women's division is, and finally I have arrived.
Yeah, that's that will be quoted. Every WWE diehard simp out there will have that as their new that quote will be their background on their fucking X. And every sicko is going to be crashing the fuck out of how dare you disrespect us, you bitch.
But no, this is the best case though. Tony is telling the sickos, put down your arms, especially if we're going to be like a jackrabbit tomorrow for a 4-hour Dynamite Fire Fest. And we don't have any tents. We don't have tickets to this event, but we'll be here for it. Hope our invisible tent blows away. But yeah.
4-hour Dynamite could lead to maybe one of the most epic meltdowns ever on this channel. We'll see how that goes, but burn this stream. It never happened. Thursday night, I expect to see you to where you're supposed to be. Let's go. Don't let it happen again. Tomorrow night is 4 hours Fighter Fest. Yes. You're giving me fever dreams about it already. TNA Under Siege Invasion. Let's go. I like it. 8 out of 10. What was your rating? I think we talked about mine.
I didn't even think I gave it one. Glamorous out of 10.
Glamorous out of 10.
I don't. Well, you gave it what, a 9?
I'm giving it a 9.
8. I'm trying to think of. We had Chase U, we had Dark State, we had highs of highs, and I feel like we might have had some lows of lows, or some creamy middles at least. But we had some highs of highs. So I'll start at an 8. Do I hear an 8.5, 8.25, and 9?
Fairly, like I said, I gave it a bonus point for kind of how things played out tonight. I thought they smushed it tonight. I thought they took every opportunity. I thought the matches were good. They were entertaining. The matches that didn't end in a finish had a reason. I thought as much as when you see that, I'm starting to feel old because the frat boys feel like they're 12. That's a tough shout to see them come out and wrestle tonight because it was literally Jonathan Taylor Thomas and David Franco teaming up with.
Yeah, well,
it's ridiculous.
We're getting an involved influence. We've now had 2 LFG debuts back-to-back weeks. We had Callie Armstrong show up, who's the Evolve Women's Champion. We've got Christ Almighty, I'm already gonna get blank on his name, calling him goddamn cartwheel and everything. Showed up to stake his claim for the North American title. Sean Legacy, there we go. I got there in the end. Lazy Susans,
right?
But yes, we're getting very much an evolved influence of. I think the best takeaway from what we're seeing now, from Monday into tonight, especially, we're seeing a youth movement, and we're starting to get the direction this new WWE might be moving.
Yeah, it feels like a bit of a transition in a lot of ways, and I like it. Again, 8 seems very fair for tonight's show. Again, highly entertained. It went fast, and I see this comment from Flame. And listen, every once in a while, and we've seen this on both sides of the war, you can accomplish something, but your hater will never give you credit for it. But every once in a while, you just dunk one where they just got to shrug and be like, fuck.
And I
feel like Mariah May tonight was that slam dunk. So big pickup for NXT, big pickup for WWE. Mariah May is a star, and now that she's in this system with WWE, she hold on tight, folks. She might.
I think what makes this, and sorry at the tail there, but I think what makes her, Ricky Saints, Sean Spears, all of that, yes, good on you, but makes it so much of an alley-oop of it. There is no 90 days of. We literally were talking about at the tail end of last week of she's all but gone, she's off the roster page, where her AEW or her WWE debut is imminent, and then literally we're here on a Tuesday night. And slam, Well,
the last thing I'll say, and do keep in mind that is case by case. That's what's one part of the last kind of interesting surprise of this whole story is she went to Tony and said, "I'm done. I'm good. I don't want to be here," and put Tony in the position to decide how he was going to handle it.
But no, it's just so interesting of R-Truth even. Not bringing him up to have a whole argument at minutes late in the evening, but if he was actually released, what have you, 90-day, probably you assume no compete and all of that. Mariah May's done with AEW. Ricky Saints done with AEW. They show up
but
the next week. Like it is literally, they are still hot off the presses and show up versus they get recently excommunicated, and then I'll see you in 3 months.
Yeah, but if his contract expires, there is no 90-day waiting period.
No, I'm not arguing that. I was giving credit to the fact that Mariah May showing up. If it's so hot off the presses that it's a huge moment right there.
Yeah, no, for sure on that one. For we saw it. They're not wasting any time. Like Phoenix, it felt like he's free in. Like Penta, you're free. Let's go. So that's it, folks. That's NXT. That's another one in the books. A 4-hour Dynamite tomorrow. Should be a fun one. I will not be alone because, God, I can't do that to myself. But it's going to be a lot of entertainment. We're live for more wrestling than anybody else out there. We're looking forward to this entire week heading towards Money in the Bank. Worlds collide. Of course, be a friend, tell a friend, click that little bell, hit like, share, subscribe, follow all our socials. That was a fun one. Good job, NXT.
Absolutely. Well, and now this feels all sort of awkward the other way here, though, of maybe we can hit the paradigm shift and we'll be back the right way come tomorrow night and everything like that. But besides that, hell of an NXT of, again, Tuesdays become can't miss of, and we're always can't miss, folks. Straight archers. Our shit is real, our shit is raw, our shit is authentic. When you talk about that rest, you put about that for life with it.
See you on the flip side, folks. Have a good night. And hopefully you're not backwards. No, like I'm where you are, and you are where I am.
I am you. You are me. You is blind.